He's a semi-aquatic, egg-laying mammal of action. Wait, where have I heard that before? That's right, he's Perry the Platypus. And today, we're gonna be going through his entire story, from the day he met Phineas and Ferb, right up to the point he's training Doof to be an agent. There's loads of undercover chaos to get through, so let's dive on it. To start Perry's story, we've actually gotta skip the main series first and go to the movie, Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension, where we see a flashback to around 5 years before the main series airs. In that flashback, we see Phineas and Ferb first adopting Perry from an animal shelter where he was actually called Bartholomew.
What would you even name a platypus?
Bartholomew.
Perry is far better. I mean, can you imagine it? He's Bartholomew? Bartholomew the Platypus? It doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? But what the Glynn Fletcher family didn't realize is that Perry belongs to an organization called OWCA, which stands for Organization Without a Cool Acronym. And they're just a host family for Perry, as he's destined to grow up and become, as we know, a secret undercover agent. By the time we meet them in the series pilot Roller Coaster, Perry has grown up and he's living his double life, part pet, part agent. He uses all sorts of entrances to get to his secret lair in Phineas and Ferb's garden. That leads to him talking face-to-face with his mission leader, Major Monogram. Think of it as James Bond and M. But to his family, Perry is just a mindless platypus that can't really do much.
Maybe you can teach Perry some tricks.
Well, he is a platypus. They don't do much.
But little do they know that their best buddy is a hero. Perry's arch nemesis for all of his missions is Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, a maniacally evil and super petty villain who wants to rule the tri-state area. That's oddly specific, I know. There's also like this running gaffe throughout the show where if Perry hasn't got his famous hat on, Doof doesn't realize it's the same platypus.
Oh, well, he's a cute little fella. Hi there. Wait a minute, I'm confused. Why does their platypus fight so good? Perry the Platypus? Really?
They usually have fights that end up with Perry usually coming out on top, and then Doof will always say this, There have been some bumps in the road for Perry and Doof though, like in season 1's It's About Time, where Doof tries to replace Perry as his main enemy by instead trying to focus on another OWCA agent called Peter the Panda.
Okay, here it is. Peter the Panda is my new nemesis.
Despite wanting an easy win against an obviously less skilled agent, Doof kind of feels empty that he isn't battling Perry but won't outright say it, so instead lures him on to a talk show called Dr. Feel Better. Honestly, they're more like a married couple than sworn enemies. But then again, I know a lot of married people who hate each other. Luckily, the talk show thing works and the pair go back to being each other's worst nightmare again. Well, not always, because there are some times when Perry and Doof hang out or help each other, usually on special days like in Happy New Year, where the pair head to a New Year's Eve party together and celebrate rather than fight.
'Cause you know it's a new year, it's a
Or like in Candid's Disconnected, where they spend a rainstorm relaxing and watching movies together. It's a very strange relationship. Well, any relationship with an undercover platypus is bound to be strange in fairness. It's sad, but Doof's also on record as saying that if he had to pick, Perry might be his worst enemy, but also his best friend. Now that's nice, I think, although Doof probably didn't want to say it on a live broadcast like he does in the episode Chronicles of Meep.
My real best friend is Perry the Platypus.
There's a big shift in Perry's whole dynamic in the season 2 episode, Oh, There You Are, Perry. After Major Monogram reassigns him away from Doof, as the evil genius is now seen as a minor threat, mainly because there's a new bad guy in town called
His name, the Regurgitator.
the Regurgitator, and what's worse, he's gotta leave Phineas and Ferb too. Perry's obviously heartbroken, but he has to put his job first, so he leaves the pair, and that gives us one of the most famous songs in the entire series. Perry Come Home.
yes, Perry, so come home, Perry.
The Regurgitator isn't quite like Doof though, he's far more powerful, and he swears to not take over the tri-state area, but to destroy Perry. Luckily though, his old nemesis Doof shows up and takes the fight to the Regurgitator because, after all, Perry is his nemesis. So with Doof's help, Perry topples the Regurgitator, and the OWCA are so happy that they decide to reinstate Agent P back to his old post and to his old home.
Come home.
Oh, there you are, Perry.
Perry!
I mentioned a little while ago about the movie Across the Second Dimension. Well, I think it's time we dove into that a bit more. Basically, after Phineas and Ferb accidentally break Doof's other dimension innator, they help fix it, and with it, open up a portal to an alternate reality. But because the kids are present, Perry can't burst in and save the day as he doesn't want to blow his cover. However, when they all go through into the alternate reality, they're met by an even more evil Doof, who sees through Perry's act and forces him to show his hand.
Do the same thing to those two boys.
What?
Perry the Platypus?
Perry?
They manage to take this evil doof down, but Major Monogram then tells Perry that every human that knows about his true identity will have to have their memories wiped, or he'll be taken away. Obviously, Perry doesn't want either, but in the end, he chooses to wipe the memory of his friends, and even Doof, in order to keep things the way they were before the events of the film. The next stop on our Perry story takes us to the Season 3 special, Where's Perry?, where the furry little Flatfoot goes missing while Phineas and Ferb are on a safari in Africa. Turns out there's a code red at the OWCA as Doof has created something called the Ultimate Evil Innator, which he intends to use on Major Monogram to take down the organization from the inside out. But like with most of Doof's stuff, it doesn't work, and instead he accidentally makes Carl a super evil entity. He captures both Doof and Monogram, and when Perry steps in to save the day, he gets caught too. So the trio have to work together to get out of their situation. Luckily, they've got an evil genius with them who can rustle up a re-goodinator to turn Carl back to the good side, and it works. Thanks to a little help from Perry getting him in position, giving Perry enough time to jet off back to Africa and meet up with Phineas and Ferb again.
A platypus crosses the Atlantic Ocean, and no one feels it is worthy of a longer discussion.
Now, there is a time where Perry's cover is blown, but it's not with Doof of the kids. It's actually with Stacy. In Happy Birthday, Isabella. Perry and Doof crash into Stacy's house mid-fight, and obviously it's hard to hide who you are when you do something like that. But before she acts, she finds a loophole in the OK policy. Only host families must have their minds wiped, so Stacy is legally in the clear. But instead of spilling the beans to Candace or anyone, she promises that Perry's secret is safe with her, which is like both really cool but kinda unrealistic. Can you imagine finding out your friend's animal is a secret undercover agent and not saying a word about it? As the series drew to a close, Perry marked the final episode silently celebrating that he's successfully safeguarded all 104 days of summer. For Phineas and Ferb, there's been highs and lows, but it doesn't matter, he got through it. After the series ended, there was a short special released called the OWCA Files, where after summer, Perry takes on a new role mentoring the next generation of animal agents, including one Heinz Doofenshmirtz. I know there's a new series just coming out now, so that'll probably retcon this ending, but I can't help but love that. After everything, Doof has come around to the good side. That's pretty much it when it comes to Agent P and his lore-filled fights. If he gets some major groundbreaking story or character changes in the new series, I'll make sure to revisit him. But for now, I hope you've all enjoyed this quick look through the story of Perry the Platypus. Let me know down below what your favorite Perry moment is, and let me know who you'd like to see me cover next. Catch you next time.